I mean, it's sad that that's the case, and it's sad that people think that that's a good excuse for not doing more charity work, for paying attention to the community. I think that works in some cases, and that's the cause in some cases. But we do also have to remember that there are a lot of people who are in some trouble that do benefit from, or would be able to benefit from, a much better system than we currently have. And we have a really, really bad, ineffective trap of welfare right now, and that's something that we don't pay enough attention to from our side, and we don't say, hey, this is a trap. This is not something that that the average person can escape from. And Fishy and we've talked about this a lot. Just the fact that it is a better decision financially for a lot of people to stay on welfare than it is to get a job, because as soon as you get money coming in, then you get cut off, and you aren't able to get the hand up. Instead, you have to stay for the hand out.
And look at the way we talk about it. We talk about those social programs, the safety net, as though we want to end them tomorrow, and that by ending them tomorrow, all sorts of things will happen. People will magically go out and get jobs, be motivated to do so. The problem is, we're not going, first of all, to be able to eliminate these vast numbers of programs and the huge quantities that they spend immediately. And so being able to push as hard as we can to cut them down, to restructure them, to give us that time to work that cultural angle and have people understand that the system is flawed and that it needs to be repaired, then we can move toward cutting them off because they're not needed as much. That is the process that I think we need to go through, but we start and stop so often on end entitlements. They're unsustainable. We can't continue to do it. And people on the other side, or people in the middle, hear that, and they just respond completely out of emotion and say, what about all those people? We've got to come up with, and we have come up with, the programs, but we've got to come up with a way to talk about these issues that lets people know we really are on their side. We really do want them to do better, and the first step in doing that is reforming the things that are there, eliminating the waste in the programs, trying to make them smarter, trying to make them more responsive to individuals, trying to more likely personalize them than give them that one-size-fits-all solution, and then from there transition them out. The system is not built for that now, and it's a vulnerability on the left that we can exploit over and over again if we just stop and think, as Leslie was saying earlier, about how we sound when we talk about it.
Well, and I think you're totally onto something, Fishy, because that, especially entitlements like Social Security, that is something that resonates with people in their 30s and younger. They don't like the fact that they're never going to see a penny of that Social Security. They understand, yeah, I'm supporting Grandma and Grandpa right now, but they're looking around and going, well, what about when it's my turn? Why can't I get money?
I'm sorry, I just need to jump in here, because as a person who is a millennial, and I'm in that rut, I would much prefer handing my grandma and grandpa a check than sending it to Washington and hope that somehow it gets around to them.
So John Pierre, in a post this week, mentioned how we need to personalize things, and I think his point was more how things hurt in a bad way, but I think, like Fishy was saying, we can also talk about how we can personalize things in a good way. Talk about these policies on how we do want to end welfare, but we know it's not going to be a day, a month, a year, because if it did, these bad things would happen to people, and we understand that. So what we plan on doing is maybe a gradual thing. Maybe we start a program that will encourage learning new job skills, and at the same time, to fund that program, we cut back some of the Medicare, Medicaid, welfare, something like that, cut back welfare for able-bodied individuals, take that money and teach those able-bodied individuals a new skill. And if we can personalize it and show them how it would help you if you got in a car accident and you got paralyzed and you couldn't work, would you rather just have someone hand you a bunch of money and not really be able to do anything with your life, or would you rather change and feel like you're helping society, feel like you're learning, like you're being challenged every day, and have opportunity for growth? Because if you're on Medicaid, Medicare, welfare, you're going to get a set income for the rest of your life. You can still do great things in a new job, in a new career, in a new field. And if we bring that and personalize and show people how the policies and the ideas will help them, help their friends, help their family, then we can hopefully reach them in a better way than political cliches and buzzwords and little slogans like "end the Fed," even though it's a great idea. How's it going to actually affect someone?
At my former place of business, we would talk about evolutionary versus revolutionary change, and much of what we were guiding our customers towards was evolutionary change from the old way of doing things to the new way of doing things, and that really does make more sense. It's far more sellable to talk about reform rather than absolute replacement, and to talk about evolving the programs to be more efficient and more effective. It's dangerous, of course, because so often that leads to corruption and cronyism and bloat and making things worse rather than just tear it down and start over. But it's far less scary to talk evolution and reform than it is to talk about revolution and dumping welfare. We want to reform welfare. I want to make welfare work for people. I want to get the crowd out of the safety net. Right now the safety net has become like a trap, and I want to release people from that trap and get as many people out of the safety net and back into the productive society as we possibly can. And the great thing is there are 1,000,001 ideas, and the cool thing about the way conservatives and the free market works is we free up people to implement and try all of these different ideas, and the ones that are the best are the ones that we go with and we do more of.